What's up, family, and welcome back to the channel. Listen, I have 10 habits that interior designers are using when they're trying to make the house look expensive. And listen, if the tips don't apply, let it fly. Let's jump right into it. Number one, they measure the space. This is so important that you have to measure the space before you buy it. And I know what you're saying. I got an eye for things I can just see. I got 4 eyes and still got it wrong. And so if you don't want to be like me and have to buy it twice, make sure you measure, because when you measure, you really cut the time in half and you save you a whole bunch of money. And here's another trick. If you don't have a measuring tape, that's fine. If you got a phone, it's on your phone, especially the Apple. I can use my phone to measure. It works perfectly and it shows exactly the inches and the centimeters, and it's worked perfect. So if you don't have a measuring tape, don't be trying to bother your husband, be trying to bother somebody in the house. What a measuring tape, what a measuring tape, I gotta find the measuring tape. Use your phone. You gotta know how to use these apps for your advantage. So that's a tip, especially you can write things down in your notes section of your phone. And so when you get to the store, you already got, okay, this is 132 inches. So when you go looking for a couch, take that same phone, measure the couch, scan it, and let it give you exact, oh, that ain't it. It's close, but that ain't it. Use your phone to your advantage. So make sure you're measuring everything. That's what designers are doing. And because I know that's what we are, that's what you need to be doing. All right, let's go to number 2. Invest in lighting first. Now, I need you to watch this before you go to the store trying to buy everything, because see, the money burning your hands. See, you got to slow down. So this is how I know you're ready, because you're letting your emotions lead you. Look at the lighting, because if we can't see it, you're wasting your time, all right? So make sure you're looking at wall sconces, you're looking at floor lamps, you're looking at table. Yes, they can be expensive, but it's an investment into your space, because when you add those things, it makes the space feel warm, cozy, inviting. So start looking at the light. That means you got to go into the area where the lights are, and if you maybe have to find some local areas in your spot, there's some nice lamps and lights at Home Goods and Home Depot, all the little places. I'll put you a list at the bottom, but I'm telling you, look at your lighting and decide where you're going to be placing things, because I'm telling you, that's going to add depth to your home, and that's something that designers do all the time. So these are habits you got to make sure that you're doing so you can get that look right every single time. Let's go to the next one. They decorate in odd numbers. It's not because they're a witch, it's not because they're a warlock, it's not because they in the Ouija board, but they decorate in odd numbers because it makes the room feels connected, cohesive, and it makes the room feel nice and simple, not all over the place, busy, overstimulated. No. They decorate in odd numbers because it's easy to put things in clusters. It's easy on the eyes and it's welcoming. So I need you to get used to that. Odd numbers, even on your console table, even on your coffee table. Odd numbers. And if it ain't odd, don't be trying to recreate the real. Now you ain't gotta break every rule. Some rules you need to follow, okay? So make it odd and don't ask me no questions why. Just do it odd, okay? Let's go to the next one. Use texture instead of excessive color. I know we like color. You know, you like blue, green, yellow, red, orange, purple. I get it. But you gotta learn how to use texture. I'm talking about your curtains can be velvet. Or what about using leather? What about using metal? What about using stone? Experiment with the texture, because if you're just gonna just throw color, I'm gonna feel like we're looking at Reading Rainbow. Okay, I don't know what we're doing. Is it the Magic School Bus? What's going on? Is this Crayola or this Rose Art? I need to know what's happening. So you got to experiment with the texture. Now the texture don't always have to be in the curtains. You could do some nice leather pillow cases. That's nice as well. You can mix it up. I'm gonna do a whole video on texture and layers, because I know that's gonna be the thing that really gonna take that bland space and make it expensive. That's a habit that the designers are doing. They're looking for texture. They're looking for things that pop. They're looking for things that add that extra to it, okay? And you need that in your space. So don't think everything has to be color. Color is one dimension, okay? We're going from level to level to level to level. So you got to add in the texture, the velvet. Try velvet, okay? Try leather. Try glass. Try wood. Try metal. Try something, okay? Don't just leave it with color, because color is not enough. It says Crayola and Rose Art, all right? Let's go to the next one. Leaving empty space. Designers understand that leaving empty space is not an accident. It's intentional, and it allows the room to breathe so it's not stuffy. Because when you have too much stuff, and I don't care how many windows you heisting up, if you got too much stuff in it, it's just gonna look overwhelming, okay? And we don't want that. We want it to flow. Okay, we want that thing to breathe. Okay, we want to be like, it's flowing in here. It is nice. Okay, I don't want to be looking all around and say this is too much. You know, it's not easy on the eye. So empty space, it's got to be intentional, and you can decide. Okay, is this space going to be my little empty space? I'm not going to do too much here. I want a lot of room to breathe, especially in front of the window. Don't put the stuff in front of all that window, because when you open the window, the air blowing through, it's fighting against the things you got to put in front of it. It's fighting against the cabinet, fighting against the drawer. It don't need to be a war when you open the window. Okay, so allow your room to breathe. And we'll talk about in another video what is too much space and what's just enough. So you got to stay tuned and stay watching. Let's go to the next one. Think in layers. I'm talking height. I'm talking throw pillows. I'm talking greenery. I'm talking after you have the essentials, think in layers that would take it to another level. So I'm going to do a whole nother video on layers, because layers is not just a whole bunch of decor, but layers is being strategic and knowing how to add to complement what you already have to really take it up another layer. So that's about height, that's about greenery, that's about texture, that's about depth. Okay, and so think in layers when you're doing anything. It's almost like put on an outfit. Now, right now I just got on a shirt, but when I add a jacket to it, come on, let's say you're doing something. Okay, if I add a hat to it, okay, let's say I'm really doing something. If I add a Movado watch, okay, now I'm on to something. Okay, if I those are, then I add a scarf, runway. See what I'm saying? That's layer. Same thing I would do an outfit is the same thing you would do a room. Okay, you got the area rug. Okay, that's one part. You got the couch, that's another part. But when you start adding a throw rug, a throw blanket, okay, now you're doing something. When you start adding, come on, a custom pillowcase, okay, now you're doing something. When you start adding the floor lamp, okay, now you adding to something right there. See what I'm saying? You start changing the chandelier, okay, now you're doing something. It's layers. And so we're gonna do a whole video on that, because I need you to understand and just how you dress. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe you ain't doing this right either. So we're going to have to work on it, because I wanted you to see it's the same way with your outfit. I got on a shirt. Let me add a jacket to it. Let me add a tie to it. Let me add a hat to it. Let me add a watch to it. Layers. And before you know it, it's a masterpiece. That's what you do in your space. But you can't do that if you're rushing. Hear me out now. You can't do that if you're going to take your time. Then slow it down. Because you want it overnight, and it's not overnight, it's over time. So take your time so we can really work this thing through and through. Let's go to the next one. Mix odd and new pieces. Now, for the people who need something new in every space, this gonna mess you up. But the designers, their habit is, I'm not gonna get rid of everything, but I'm gonna mix the old and the new, the antique with the modern, the classic. Come on, with the 400, you gotta know how to mix it, because that's gonna give custom. That's gonna give, you didn't get this off in the same stove. See, that's gonna give, okay, she took her time and she created the space. That's how you create the space, when you know how to mix the old and the new. If you got to get everything new, you ain't doing it right. That means you're spending too much money and you're not taking your time. You don't have to throw everything away. But if you keep it clean, if you keep it clean, it'll work for you. Okay. So my goal is to make you use what you have, make it work. Because this is luxury on less. Okay. Make it work for you. Let's go to the next one. They edit the room before adding more. Now, this is the one that really should have been number one. They edit and they audit the room. That's what you're going to have to do. Before you rush out to the store, edit and see, what do I have that's working for me? And what do I have that says, okay, this got to go? And go ahead on and eliminate those things, and then sit back and look and see what you have done before you start adding. Because it's better to take away, honestly, than it is to add, because now we got to figure out where it go, how's it gonna fit, how's it gonna move. And sometimes your space just needs stuff to be taken away and not added to. But you won't know that if you won't audit. You got to do inventory, okay? You got to do inventory of your stuff now, because what's gonna happen is you're gonna get around the holidays and you're gonna talk about all this stuff, and before you know it, you're gonna be like, I ain't got no money, I ain't got no money. Can you give me some money? I ain't got no money. You done spend it all because you did not audit your room, you did not audit your space, okay? You don't need new everywhere you go. Audit and edit so you can delete and you can add when the appropriate time comes. Let's go to the next one. Designers always create a focal point. We got to know what's the focus, okay? Because if the room is all over the place, we don't know where to start. Okay, what's going to be the focus point? If the living room is going to be your mantle, it's going to be your fireplace. Okay, that's the focal point, and then we're going to build around that. This is why I stress one room at a time. You're not the Joneses, okay? What you're rushing for, one room at a time. Find the focal point and build around that. Okay, and when you do that, that'll help you stay in order, stay cohesive, and that will help you to really focus in on what does this space really need. So find the focal point. Designers always do that. They know exactly when they go into the room, this is the bedroom. This is where the headboard is going to be. I'm going to build out from around it. If you go in thinking, well, you know, I'm going to just get me some curtains. Don't think curtains first. Think focal point first. Get that together. Then we're going to build out around it because it all going to come together at the end. Let's go to the last one. They prioritize scale and proportion. You got to make sure that if you're going to do this, that it fits the space. Every space don't need something oversized, but everything don't need anything tiny either. You got to be able to scale and prioritize what's important. So when you look at the room, it allows your eyes to look up and not looking all over, okay? We need to be able to look up, especially at the artwork that you use, especially at the things that you use in your room, in your space, height and dimension. You gotta make sure that it's scaled and it's proportional to the size, because the worst thing you could do is get some stuff in your room and it looks like who did it and why. Why did you do that, okay? And we don't want that, okay? So these are 10 habits that I need us to adopt, okay? Well, I like to do my own thing. I don't need you to do anything, because now my question gonna be, how's that working for you? Okay, so if it's not working, we need to go back to the habits. So when you go into the store, I need you to think like a designer, okay? I need you to put on their mind, put on their hat. They are measuring. You gotta have a measuring tape, use your phone, okay? They are thinking not just color, texture, okay? Layers, okay? Edit. All this is important because this is gonna keep you from doing your house over and over and over. That's wasteful. That's just wasteful. And if you're doing that, you ain't doing it right. All right. So I want to hear from you. What are one of the habits that we just talked about that you're going to do? Now, don't be talking about, I watched the video. I like your little video. Get in the comment section. This is a community. I need to hear from you. What are the habits you're going to be incorporating as you're going to shop, redecorate, and you're going to start working on your home? I need to know so I can know where I can help you really be successful in your home. Now, if this is your first time here, do me a favor and go ahead and subscribe, because I already know you're going to like it here and you're going to laugh, and it's a good time. All right. Now, for those who are asking about the vlogs, my wife has already did the first vlog. We're working on our breakfast nook now. You won't have to find it on the membership page. It's going to eventually be for everybody, but if you want to be a part of the membership, you can get exclusive access up front already. But we're going to be uploading videos as we go. Now listen, I've already told y'all our Instagram is Rutland Family TV. Please follow us on Instagram because we're going to be updating that too as well. But you said, I don't want to do all that. Stay right on YouTube. I appreciate you for coming. Appreciate you for being here. These are 10 habits. If you hear me say anything else, that you gotta start incorporating, all right? I need to know at least one or two you're gonna try, because if not, I'm a little nervous. I'm gonna be a little worried, okay? So let's do this, because I believe if you get these things right, you're gonna be able to design somebody else's house. You know, I can't design somebody else's house. I'm over 40 years old. See why you're talking about your age. See why you're talking about your age. You're doing too much. Don't do that. Take the steps. Use what you need to use. Let fly what need to fly, and don't chase behind it. All right. Until next time, have a good one. Bye-bye.